This is an overview of a restoration project on a Riverside Arms Company shotgun, which was a cheaper brand of the Stevens shotguns made back. They stopped using, actually, they stopped using the name Riverside back in the 30s. So this gun is close to 100 years old and definitely shown its wear. So the first issue I had to deal with is that somebody actually soldered on a loop for a sling about halfway up the barrel. They actually took a piece of metal and soldered it in between the barrels. So to remove that, I had to use some heat and not heat the barrels up enough to have them come apart. So I wrapped the barrels in a wet towel and removed those. Here's a shot of the loop on the right there. This was on the barrel, and the actual eye bolt that was screwed into the stock. Here's the hole left by the eye bolt when I removed it, and as you can see, this stock is well used and pretty filthy, and it took some serious cleanup time. This photo gives you some idea what sort of shape the gun was in overall. You can see the crud around the firing pins and on the face of the breech. So again, a lot of cleanup, a lot of scrubbing. This first photo shows where the old solder job was done, and then going ahead and cleaning up and using some acetone to strip it clean and get it ready for some rust bluing. Once I applied the rust bluing solution, left it in a warm, damp box to develop some rust on it, the good kind of rust that can be converted, and so that's what this shows. The next step was to put the barrel in the steam pipe and convert the rust into ferric oxide, and which turned it black. After steaming for 15 minutes, next step was to use some steel wool to cart off any loose rust and get down to the clean bluing. The final step in the rust bluing process was to soak it in some kerosene for a few hours until you get it the way you want, and then finish it up with some good gun oil to preserve it. This is a shot of the stock, cleaned up as best I could without over sanding it and ruining it, but kind of clean it up and make it look good, and then treating it with some true oil, and it actually came out reasonably decent looking. Here's a view of the action all cleaned up. Came out of the sonic cleaner. All the parts seem to be in good shape and working, so didn't have to go too deep into this. I used a product called Steel FX to simulate the look of a case-hardened receiver. Since the gun is nearly not worth very much, it didn't seem worth the trouble to try to do an actual case hardening, and I think the results look pretty decent. So here's a look at the final result. Probably spent more time and effort than this gun is probably ever going to be worth, but it was definitely a fun project and definitely a learning experience.